Hey, what's up, ATX? I'm Rollercoaster. I'm here to commentate some Pokemon. I got my friend Sir Wilson here with me. What's going on, man?
What's up, Rollercoaster? I'm hyped, dude.
I'm feeling good. You ready to watch some Pokemon?
Dude, I'm so ready. And we got you and me for the next two matches, so this is gonna be pretty fun. It's extended, and we're already in the game. Yeah, we got game one just done with Amy and DJ Prime.
No, that was Squiddo.
No, Squiddo. Thank you. I was the names didn't match. Elijah and Squiddo, and man, it was pretty exciting. I love seeing Dragonite coming out. I haven't seen a whole lot of that, so that was nice seeing that. And here we got on the screen, we've got tonight's two teams for match number 2.
Yeah, we got Tigers with another Dragonite, Heatran, Gastrodon, Indeedee, Pheromosa, and Amoonguss. And then Angelo's got Dragapult, Regieleki, Incineroar, Tapu Fini, Dusclops, and the very threatening Ice Horse.
Yep, so pretty drastically different teams here. No overlap whatsoever, which is pretty cool to see. Although it looks like they could easily interchange Pokemon and have their teams function pretty well, so I can see that. But yeah, you see a pretty standard Glastrier, Ice Horse, Trick Room team with the opposite end of Regieleki speed control at the front, and so you can play on both sides there on Angelo's team. And then with WightTigers, I'm interested to see how he makes some of these pairs play together, because I'm familiar with all of them, but I don't think I've seen some of these Pokemon put together recently.
Yeah, I've seen Pheromosa and Dragonite do stuff before. I've seen it looks like it's a male Indeedee, which is something that in general has been used less, but I particularly haven't really seen any male Indeedee since Series 7 started.
Same. So that's a nice revisit to Series 5.
yeah.
Oh shoot, and these guys are locked in, ready to go. I did not get to see the order in which Angelo locked in, but let's check out these trainer cards. This is Angelo's first time battling, so checking out his trainer card looks pretty cool there.
Alright, let's see what we got for the leads coming out. Okay. Looks like we got the Indeedees coming out right away, and Amoonguss as well. Very interesting pair, as well as Regieleki and Dusclops. Typically, whenever I see male Indeedee, I think Imprison Trick Room. But that seems a little strange to me, seeing as how, because normally Amoonguss is a Trick Room counter, so maybe Tigers is just countering Trick Room as hard as possible with Imprison and Spore, but I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, I feel like Angelo is kind of on one of these pivot leads where, if he's good to set up the Trick Room with Dusclops, he'll go for it, or if he wants to throw down some screens or Electro Web with the Regieleki, he can go there and then pivot in from the Dusclops slot with his lead. And we do also see the Regieleki comes in with the Volt Switch, getting out of there, tagging the Amoonguss on its way, and we'll see him throw out another Pokemon, so probably something to partner with this Trick Room that he might be throwing down. And there was no priority on the Imprison. We did not see that come out from the Indeedee, so and no Rage Powder either as well from from Tiger's side.
Yeah. Tapu Fini is going to come in here. Really great Misty Terrain setup. Yeah, Imprison's not a priority move. Yeah, great setup of the Misty Terrain, making sure that nothing can go to sleep. Indeedee does have Imprison, so Trick Room will be shut down. And now both Tigers and Angelo have kind of a Pokemon that can't really do anything on the field right now. Like Amoonguss can't really spore anything at the moment. Dusclops can't set up Trick Room. It has one Nightshade target on the field that's immune, so both players are probably going to want to try and reposition right now.
Yeah, we do see Angelo is making some considerations to the Pokemon that he has just looking over, but we do have Amoonguss switching out as well from Tiger's side. We see the Heatran throwing in, not afraid to take a water attack from Feeny, not speculating that into the Amoonguss slot. Seems like a safe switch despite that. And then the Glastrier comes out and it's sitting next to Feeny.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's really interesting. And D has Protect, which means that Angelo's not going to be able to guard any of their Pokemon, like for the rest of the, or for as long as Indeedee's on the field. Indeedee goes for a Calm Mind. Glastrier comes in for the Ice Horse. Glastrier normally carries a Ground type move. It's also really bulky, and you probably don't want to risk setting off a weakness policy. And I don't know if Heatran gets it with a Max Flare.
Yeah, we didn't see an air balloon from the Heatran, so possibly running that Shuka Berry as just to mitigate one ground type damage. And then I like that you point out the Protect Imprison tech with the Indeedee. You don't really consider that a lot, and so I didn't see a lot of Protect so far from Angelo's team, but I believe his 2 months on the field are likely to have it. So we do see Tigers throwing off the Dynamax. It's going to be the Heatran getting big. Pretty good positioning if you're wanting to throw in a Fire Steel type against an Ice type that he probably speculated was coming in and at some point as a switch in with the Trick Room being set up. The Master Ball showing there. Looks like that's going to be the Ice Horse getting big. All right, Dynamax face off.
Those Nays are going to be chilling indeed if it gets any KOs. And Bros was pointing out, like, this is the only time having Detect on a Pokemon is technically optimal, so that, like, you can't have your Protect Imprison. Let's see. Oh, that was a crit. That's a really unfortunate crit. You're at +1 special defense that you really don't want it doing that much damage. Tapu Fini is just going to keep setting up these Calm Minds. It makes it really hard for this Heatran to break through. Heatran going for a Steel Spike, getting its own defense boost into the Tapu Fini. I don't think this is going to do much damage. Yeah, it barely scratches through that thing. With those +2 special defense, it's just going to be really hard for any of Tiger's special attackers to break through it. Hailstorm going to come out into the Indeedee. It looks like it's going to survive even through the hail damage thanks to that defense boost. So that was a pretty solid play from Tigers, but I don't know how much longer this Indeedee is going to be able to stick around. Oh, and Life Orbs revealed on the Ice Horse.
Yes, we did see the Life Orb trigger. All the hail proccing on the Pokemon. We do see Leftovers healing Feeny back up. And, you know, the Steel Spike was clutch to save Indeedee, but I'm not quite sure why or for what reason WightTigers didn't decide to target down the Glacier at that time. I figured that would seem like the obvious attack to go for, but perhaps there's something about the Feeny that he would just prefer to get rid of it sooner.
Tigers is probably a little bit worried about triggering a weakness policy on the Glastrier, and then, you know, negating any kind of defense boost he's going for by, like, boosting his attack even more. And also, like, with that Feeny just, like, bulking up with these Calm Minds, he probably just wants to get rid of it as soon as possible. But now he knows the Glastrier isn't weakness policy, meaning that it's a prime target to just get max flared or max steel spiked. Indeedee's actually going to switch out, interestingly enough.
We'll save it, throw off the Amoonguss, maybe take some chip damage. It will take the Muddy Water, much better. But that did a lot, surprisingly.
Yeah, it did a lot of damage. Indeedee's at +2. Steel Spike almost gets the KO. If they had Indeedee stayed in, it may have been able to pick it off with an Expanding Force. Because of and this Max Quake, because this poor Heatran's at half health is just going to obliterate the poor guy, even with the Shuka Berry proc. Oh, never mind, I'm a liar.
Save it. The +2 saves it. Holy cow. I thought for sure you were right that even the Shuka Berry couldn't save it, but those 2 Steel Spikes are paying off against the Glacier. And Feeny lives barely from the hail at 2. It'll have another turn, but the hail was not enough to take it out. The Amoonguss came in safely, taking the Muddy Water. We didn't see any accuracy drops, so that was pretty good. And we're in turn 3 for both battlers here with their Dynamax. And at least Tapu Fini flexing off all those boosts and the special attack and special defense that it's got now.
And now Amoonguss has a additional defense boost, which means that Tigers can try and pick off this Feeny real quick. Actually, no, we saw that Feeny was faster than Heatran, right? Did I see that wrong? Okay, yeah. So I mean, Tigers may just have to like hope that his Heatran dodges muddy water. Amoonguss can't put anything to sleep because the misty terrain is still up. He could also try to just like protect and go for a sludge bomb. Feeny actually goes for a protect.
Interesting.
Oh, yep. Read max guard on the Heatran. That's a good read. Hailstorm comes out. It is Yachi Berry Amoonguss. So it is going to survive this. That is a useful use of a Yachi Berry. Ooh, God, but he almost doesn't make it.
That might go down to hail, but it will live to throw off the sludge bomb into the protected Feeny. And now we see Feeny will again live from the hail. Heatran lives from the hail, but it's pretty close. And Amoonguss is sticking around. It's got to be on 1. That's got to be on 1.
I actually think that's a really unfortunate survival for Tigers because potentially he could have gotten something faster that could KO this Feeny so that his Heatran could have gone for like a Heat Wave or a Flash Cannon into the Glastrier. With his Heatran, his Amoonguss, and Indeedee in the back being super low, I don't know what his 4th Pokemon is, but I don't think it's going to be able to pull things back for him. Yeah, everyone's got the 1 HP right now.
Yeah, looking at the other mons of his team, like maybe Gastrodon wants to come in. I doubt he's running the multi-scale, but even still, like the Dragonite doesn't really want to switch in with a Feeny or a Glastrier on the field either. Like that's not optimal typing. So he's just gonna have to sit here and hope, like you said, that this misses, but we did not see, and it's gonna be a double KO for the Feeny.
Yeah. Of a slightly positive note out of that double KO is that Glastrier doesn't get a KO this turn, so you don't get a Chilling Neigh boost on it, or you don't have to deal with that. Thanks to this Leftovers and Feeny just being out of range of hail, it's almost like taunting. Like you see it almost go down every single turn only to recover itself. But yeah, Indeedee's super low. It could go for an Expanding Force that might KO the Feeny. Dragonite's here. I don't know if it can take out the Glastrier in one hit, and it's going to need to if it wants to survive something like an Icicle Crash or even just an Icicle Spear.
Yeah, and I would be concerned if Indeedee is going to be enough to outspeed the Tapu Fini, because you don't want to, like, Dragonite's really the only thing I would expect to outspeed the Fini. You don't want Fini to get off a Moonblast.
Indeedee's actually as fast as Arcanine, so unless WightTigers is running like modest Indeedee, it should outspeed.
Wow, that's surprising.
I know, right? It's weird. It feels like sense? It shouldn't.
There's some weird... Gen 8 just has some of these Pokemon with really weird stats that you just don't expect without looking at them and knowing them so well.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. So we do see a little switcheroo. Tapu Fini is going to forfeit all of those boosts, and the Dusclops comes out, and we see the Frisk. Did you see the item? I missed it.
It is Lumberry on Dragonite and Colberberry on Indeedee, most likely to survive something like a Wicked Blow from Urshifu. The switch out to keep control of the terrain is a really good call. Now, because Misty Terrain not only is going to prevent any status from happening, which I don't think it could, but also is going to, get rid of the Expanding Force double target and weaken any outcoming Dragon moves from Dragonite for all the grounded Pokemon. Angelo could honestly Trick Room here. I don't think that'd be a terrible play. Like, Tigers is in a position where he's kind of forced to just do damage. Like, he can't really risk having a passive turn right now. And even then, I'm not entirely sure if he's going to be able to break through like all four of these, seeing as how Dragonite's his best option. Yeah,
like what do you think you target here? Because you definitely don't want to risk Dusclops getting off the Trick Room, but at the same time, you can't afford to have the Glacier get off an attack. It's a pretty unfortunate position. We do see the Tapu Fini coming in to reset the terrain right away. Not even going to let that Psychic Surge stay around for one more turn. So the Expanding Force is going to be single target and reduce damage. Dragonite throws off the Protect. Nice safe turn there.
Maybe hoping that this expanding force can chip it, the Glastrier enough in to put it in range of another attack. But Feeney switched in, and it looks like Tigers was going for the Dusclops. I mean, he may have just been going for both, but didn't consider that switch. And a really great read from Angelo, just picking off the Indeedee there, probably knowing that this Dragonite's never going to be able to win the 1v1 versus the horse. So yeah, now you can go into Dusclops, and also guarantees that he'll be able to get up Trick Room next turn. So yeah, it looks like that Dragonite doesn't have anything that can get through this horse. Just for good measure, set up a screen, and then just any ice type move should take it down.
Yeah, indeed. With all 4 Pokemon, all the 3 Pokemon in Feeney just going down, he's in a lot of options to really position himself. And the dual Wing Beat coming out from the Dragonite there, not showing off a lot of damage, unfortunately, into the Glacier. Icicle Crash coming through the Life Orb. That is definitely going to take that Dragonite down.
Well, that's the saddest dual Wing Beat I've ever seen, Will.
I'm so confused. Like, what? Why dual Wing Beat on Dragonite? Why not, like, I know a lot of people don't like fly, but man, that's its next best option for a physical flying type attack, but still.
Dragonite unfortunately doesn't get anything like a Brave Bird.
Jeez.
But yeah, so, I mean, I'd say that in that game, the first couple of turns went pretty well for Tigers. It was just like, I think maybe something like that Muddy Water just did way more damage than he was prepared for. Also, he didn't target the Glastrier down, again, thinking that it was probably weakness policy and wanting to get rid of that Feeney as soon as possible. So what kind of adjustments do you think he'll make for the second game?
Well, like you pointed out, now that we know the...
Oh, thanks for the cheer, Gemma.
Sorry, I didn't see it come through. There it is. Okay, thank you, Jones. But I think that Tigers is going to be probably a little more aggressive with the Heatran, knowing that he doesn't have to worry about the weakness policy talking on Glacier this turn or in this battle. We could also see like maybe try and get some speed advantage off with Pheromosa and Dragonite leading, just to be a little crazy. But probably going to be a little bit of, like, if I'm Angelo, I would throw out pretty much the same lead and just pivot off of it, because it seemed really safe and he had good flexibility no matter which way he wanted to go.
Yeah. I'd say probably the only difference is that you try to Volt Switch the Indeedee this time, just to like chip it down and try to get rid of it as soon as possible. And Ambrosia pointing out in the chat that Amoonguss not dying on that one turn was really, really bad for
Tigers. Yeah.
Ooh, okay. This is a bit of a switch up, potentially. Potentially calling out the Dragonite lead, and Incineroar's coming here. Man, it's going to be Pheromosa and Dragonite. Focus Sash on the Pheromosa, so I imagine it's a pretty free fake out into the Pheromosa right now. If Tigers has the Indeedee in the back, you could switch it out to prevent it, but with the Intimidate on Dragonite, I don't think it's going to be able to break through that Dusclops.
No, it was a pretty good counter. Even if he wasn't expecting, or just brought it for like the Amoonguss to pick out the Amoonguss, it worked out pretty good that Incineroar was on the field against this lead from Tigers. But I'm pretty excited to see it. We'll see, if he's willing to play through it or switch it out. So yeah. Oh, and we do see the Dynamax coming right out in the Friend Ball. Friend Ball. I love that. And of course, he's rocking the Dragon t-shirt as well, or the Dragon gym shirt as well. So he's trying to show off his favorites right now.
Yeah. And Dragonite looks adorable, Dynamaxed.
Oh, it was? Yes.
All right. Pheromosa going to protect, probably knowing that fake out is coming into that slot. Wants to make sure that it doesn't go down this turn, or doesn't get the sash broken. Wormwind's going to come out, maybe into the Incineroar, into the Dusclops. For being intimidated and not super effective move into pretty bulky Dusclops, that's a solid damage.
Yes, we keep forgetting that.
I totally forgot about that.
I always get so caught up in Dragonite's other ability because I think it's so cool. But yes, Inner Focus was saving it from the Intimidate there. But yeah, like you said, that Max Wormwind did a pretty decent chunk to Dusclops. So it's like Pheromosa can provide its utility and get that coaching off. Although, it'll be playing out of order since Dragonite will attack first now.
Yeah. And the unfortunate thing is, like, knowing how frail Pheromosa is and knowing that it has Focus Sash, I'd be surprised if it didn't get doubled up into this turn. Yeah. Pain Split gonna come out, recover a good chunk of that damage that Dragonite worked so hard to get. Flare Bit's gonna follow up. I don't think Pheromosa survives this. No. Even at -1.
You didn't get to see it do much. It protected last turn to prevent the fake out, and then sadly was still led to its downfall. Dragonite throwing off the Max Wormwind into the Incineroar, and that picks up the KO.
Nice. Crit.
That was a crit. I was gonna say that's a lot of damage. Incineroar, it didn't lose that much from the Flare Blitz.
But now the scary part is that Glastrier, the ice Pokemon, is going to come in and be very, very threatening into that Dragonite.
Yeah, good positioning. That's 2 turns of Dynamax down for Tigers, and Angelo comes in without using any of his Dynamax yet. Indeedee, Male, setting the Psychic Surge, changing that terrain.
Okay.
I don't know what Indeedee's purpose is going to be here. Maybe it does have.
It may try to reverse the Trick Room, which could be pretty good. Like you could create a scenario where like you just go for Trick Room on Indeedee and attack with Dragonite, and you're like, okay, well I know you can't stop both of these things.
Right.
So we'll see what happens. Tigers may like try to get a little conservative with it and go for like a max guard so you don't take the ice move and Trick Room with Indeedee, but I'm not entirely sure he'd be able to get that off.
Yeah, you would think Angelo might be able to see that happening. And then we have Dusclops just going for some Pain Split damage. If he doubles into it to prevent the possible Trick Room, that's going to be... Could Indeedee live? I don't think so.
Yeah, no, it just doesn't make it. But I'd say good play on Tiger's part regardless based on the position that he was in. He went for the move like, you can't KO both of these at the same time, so I'm just going to try to get as much off as I can out of this turn. Maybe Dragonite has some... Well, it Wormwind, so it's going to reduce that Chilling Nade boost. It's going to go into the Dusclops, but that's not going to KO.
No, it just puts it back down to the first time after it's healed off the Pain Split now. And that'll be the end of Dragonite's turn too, or Dragonite's Dynamax done now. The hail gets set up, so we get to watch that chip animation go through again. And thanks Chase for throwing down the Discord link there as well.
Ooh. And now Tigers has revealed that his last Pokemon is also 4 times weak to Glastrier, so not the best position.
Oh no, yeah.
Do you think Glastrier gets either one of these through Protect?
It's not at +1 now, so probably not. Dragonite could. I think Dragonite is the one because of the stab. Even through 4 times damage, the Sugar Bear would definitely save Heatran.
Yeah, I don't know if Dragonite will survive through Protect here. I'm very curious to find out. Hailstorm coming out, going into the Dragonite. It's got a little bit chip. Oh, Dragonite.
Going, poor Dragon. Through the Protect. It wasn't quite full health.
Like a Heat Wave burn this turn if he wants any chance of getting through this. Heat Wave comes out, does admirable damage on the Glastrier, but no burn. He can Protect to stall out the last turn of Trick Room, but Heatran, I don't know if it's going to be able to 1v3. Oh my god, the horse still has another turn of max.
Yeah, and Dusclops keeps taking off Pain Split damage, so even if he's forced to be offensive or defensive, like he's taking some damage this turn regardless. Yeah, the Nightshade actually saved there from the Protect, but the Sugar Berry is going to proc. Let's see how little damage this does. This could also take it out through Protect.
Oh,
so close. Oh,
is that in hail range? Oh, it was a crit. Oh no.
Wow. That, if it dies to hail, that crit mattered, obviously.
I mean, I don't think Tigers was coming back regardless, but yeah, I think that's in hail damage. Oh no, what a way to go, Heatran. Yeah, it looks like the Ice Horse was just a really tough matchup for Tigers, but I'd say he played it really well regardless.
Yeah, indeed. You know, with the Dragonite being a glaring weakness to ice, you know, it's not a great thing because that seems to be his like main physical offensive threat that he wants to throw out there. And he did try it, but the Pheromosa just got put in a bad position, unfortunately.
Yeah. It was a really good call out with the Incineroar lead.
Yeah, that forced fake out. But those are two really good games from Tigers and Angelo. Love both the teams, y'all. Thank you for bringing those out here, and thank you for participating on our ATX VGC Monday Night Friendlies.